Hi everybody, Michael Berge with Digiday, back here at the Digiday studio here at Possible, year 4. And I'm very happy to have with me Kamran Asghar, who's the co-founder and CEO of Crossmedia and a proud independent agency owner.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here. Michael, as always. Yeah.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
So you are a Possible veteran, correct?
I guess you could call it that. I mean, if you've been here 3 years in a row,
3 out of 4,
kind of like a savvy vet, right?
No, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You've been here. Obviously, you could see this is a lot bigger this year.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know what messages are you looking to share with the people that you meet with?
Yeah.
And what are you looking to pick up in signals from here?
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting event, right? I mean, it is chaotic.
Yes.
It seems the entire industry sort of cascades here all at once. And it can be hard to understand your bearings here, really.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sales going on. It's ad tech palooza, as I like to call it. So I'm really looking for, I mean, in the name of this event, what is actually possible in our industry today? What are some solutions we're working towards? I'm less interested in showing off wares and how clients are rethinking, business models with their agencies, how we're incorporating technology into our overall solutions. I'm looking for use cases, and then of course I'm here evangelizing independence, because in a world in which there's sort of the haves and the have-nots in agency land today, there's really a lot of excitement around what independents are doing and what their business models are, and particularly media independents who don't necessarily all have the scale, but can move a lot quicker through technology solutions and client relationships than sort of the big guys.
It's the agility versus the scale.
It is. It is.
And it seems like you guys are kind of pulling that off.
Well, we were kind of born that way. I mean, whether we had a choice or not, one of the great things about being a startup or almost a forever startup is you're not tied to anything legacy. You can do and undo, systems, processes, but still, we've been in business now 25 years, leverage all the greatness that the agency has become. And so like right now is actually a real pivotal time where we're looking at our business and saying, okay, how do we re-platform our entire business? How do we do that with native AI technology? How do we do that where we're offering full media operational transparency to our clients and really sticking true to the whole proposition of neutrality, right? And making sure that the decisions that we're making on behalf of our clients are actually objective and not jaded by any other financial motive than what they pay us for, advice.
There are so many geopolitical factors and inflationary factors that historically, as I've observed the business, have caused marketers to become a bit afraid and pull back on spend. This time around, I'm not seeing that. What are you seeing from your clients? And if that's the case, if I'm right with what I'm seeing, why is that?
It is unbelievable. There's so much uncertainty and news around us every single day, yet I think you see a American consumer that is extraordinarily resilient. And you see advertisers who I think are finding better ways, certainly into the work we're doing, in measuring and justifying their marketing expenditures and their ad spend. And so having a resilient customer and just having more confidence to walk into the boardroom and say, look, I spend this money and it gets me the results I'm looking for. I'd like us to keep investing in marketing. We're seeing that continue, really. And we have a lot of financial services clients, and all of them to a T have been pretty bullish. Now, I will say uncertainty means we have to be a lot more flexible in how we operate. Things can change on a dime. You got to pull down advertising because somebody in the political arena said something you don't agree with. Or you got to, ramp it up because budgets come down and there's some hardcore growth goals or acquisition goals. So we just have to stay extraordinarily flexible.
That is, and certainly in my reporting, that's kind of bubbled to the surface that it's the flexibility that does help with the ability to not pull back. Back in the day when it was a much more rigid 90-day commitment or whatever, it was much harder to stay in market with such fluctuation.
Yeah, I mean, media today is, it's a river. It's always moving, and you come in and out, if you come in and out of programs and campaigns. I mean, and when I started, we had a flow chart that you sort of set and forget, and you looked at, did we deliver or did we not? Today, you're real time every moment of every day. And of course, with AI, there's just a lot more scrutiny on how you operate those budgets and then the results you're looking for.
Now, you talked earlier about what you need to do to figure out how to adapt your platform and transform yourselves to be relevant to today's marketplace. AI obviously plays a role in that. Can you talk a little bit about what you're thinking about, what it's going to affect in terms of planning, buying, research, data, whatever?
Well, I mean, one thing's for certain, it feels extremely existential right now for everybody.
Yeah.
I think we're all, and I've been saying, everyone is sort of nowhere all at once, right? And AI is just pervasive in everything we do. We're not looking to build an AI strategy. I don't think any company that's worth its weight should be building an AI strategy. They should be building a business strategy in which AI helps enable. It's just like, the dot-com days. We didn't have if you had an internet strategy then, but nobody today would say, hey, what's your internet strategy?
Right.
It's just part of how you do business.
Yeah.
For us, in media, I think the only thing more complex than media workflow is the healthcare system in our country. And it's really all still pretty much stitched together by Excel. So we're pretty ruthlessly focused on workflow automation, from planning to buying to campaign management to reporting. And I think while some of our competitors have spent a lot of money in building, audience solutions or content solutions, which are all, nice to have, we're not addressing the core issue, which is how do we offer consistency and standardization across the board for how you do media, how it runs through the organization. It's not very sexy, but this is where technology enablement really helps. And this is where AI can have a profound impact, because you can then start to see some significant savings in time and man hours. And we want our people to be on the front lines of strategy and relationship management and the decisioning that happens in real time with the technology and the AI agents assisting them along the way.
Wow, great answer. You mentioned healthcare, and I can't help but notice the logo on your cap. What's with American Cancer?
I appreciate you asking, Michael. So American Cancer Society is one of our clients, and we always joke in advertising we're not saving lives, but in this case we are. And I'm kicking off my annual donation challenge, as every year I walk in a CEO step challenge for American Cancer Society. 2 years ago I did 50,000 steps.
50,000.
50,000. Last year I did 80,000.
What?
So my goal this year is to beat that. So I'm going for 80,001. I might hit Digit A up for a donation, Michael, at some point. Doesn't have to be a lot, but we're here to support a good cause.
This is where I need to call my boss in, but no, that's a great effort. Well, Cam, thank you so much for your time. Great to have you here.
Appreciate it.
Cam Asghar with Crossmedia. Thanks.